Hi, good morning, and I'm back in the cabin again, my favourite place, and I've got a couple of hours to myself this afternoon, so I thought I'll finish off a few more Spanish bits and pieces. I have been working on the Spaniards last week. I finished off the 3rd Battalion, which I'll show you in a moment, and I made inroads with the artillery, which I think I may have said that I was looking forward to doing the 12 gunners because I thought it would be a lot easier than the infantry figures, but they caused me no end of, well, they're just difficult to paint, a lot more lace, and I've done the basing, or about to put a coat on the basing, but there's a lot of lace and fancy work, but again I'll show you that at the end of this vid. They should look good. There's 3 guns to the battery, 12 figures to a battery, 12 figures to a gun. Yes, they look nice and colourful. Right, so that's 12 of those, 3 guns, and I've just started painting up the Mantle Command, and I was going to do the commanders in the regimental colours, white with the lilac, but then went, not thinking, sprayed them black. Whereas if it's white uniform, I'll obviously spray them white, and so I'm doing them in the dark blue and red, the commanders, which is no bad thing, I suppose, a bit of variety. Again, all figures by Perry, and once again bedeviled by those worms. So that's those. Now I'll show you those in a moment. I went to Selwg yesterday with my friend John. It has moved. It's the first time I've been to the new venue, and if you can imagine London being a circle, I live at the bottom of London, and when we used to go to the Crystal Palace show, where it was originally, it would be half an hour to get there, but this time you couldn't get more around the other side. We were at 6 o'clock, new venue at 12 o'clock, so we had to go around through the Dartford Tunnel that way. So it's it is further to go. And first thoughts of walking into the venue, it's a lot easier to park there. Free parking, a lot more space than the Crystal Palace show. I thought there wasn't many people there yesterday. Maybe because the venue is a lot larger than it was before. You're crammed into the Palace Sports Centre on different levels. Traders seem to be doing good business, what I saw, and yes, the attendance, I'd like to see what the figures were, or hear what the figures were compared to previous years. I know people have got to be a bit careful with the money at the moment, and most of us, I imagine, have quite a few unpainted figures in our cupboards and drawers somewhere, so are we cutting back possibly? But I'm glad I went. The standard of the games, there's 1 or 2 very good standout games which caught the eye, and I won't say the rest are below par, because anybody who takes a game to the show has my full support. I think more games the merrier, but I think there was a modern 1980s, if you call that modern, 20mm game, British Army on the Rhine. That was very good, and I enjoyed that, looking at that. I enjoyed Ken from our YouTube community. He put on a bolt action game. I enjoyed that. Simon Miller's To the Strongest is always worth a sit down and have a look. Just look at the figures as well. They're great. So spent a bit of money. Say John's first time at a show. Were we underwhelmed? No, not underwhelmed. I don't know. I spent some money. I'll show you what I bought in a moment. But I thoroughly enjoyed the day out. Will I go again? Well, I think with the Warfare show moved to Farnborough, that might be one I'll go to instead, because obviously that's a bit closer. But I'm glad I went along yesterday. But this is what I bought. The boring stuff first. I went there with excuse me. I went there with an open mind concerning purchases, because I've got a lot to paint. So I was a bit not hesitant and spending money, but I thought I'd go for nothing major. So I went for the usual stocking up on some stuff on my bases. I bought an AK paintbrush, only £2.50. See what that's like. I'm not a huge snob when it comes to paintbrushes, which I may have said before. As long as it holds its point, I don't mind who it's by. So that just goes in the collection of brushes unused, which is strange because I'll wear a brush out until the end curls over, and I saw what paintbrushes I've brand new from 2005, 2006. I bought a whole collection of the Wargaming Foundry brushes, which I like, and I never get around to using them because it's always nice to have them in reserve, if you know what I mean. But I just thought I'd buy that for £2.50, can't go wrong. And I've got this. Let's have a look. This is from Battle Zone Scenics, which I've always bought their movement trays, so I like those. But I thought I've got 3 or 4 bridges for my gaming at home in the cabin. They seem to be more modern, so this one came in ready painted for £15, which I didn't think was too bad. Made out of resin. I've got quite a few large rivers, and that should cover, I reckon. So I can use that for Napoleonics and French Indian Wars and the like. So I look forward to using that for the first time. File that in the bin. I did purchase, I went along to Eagle Figures, and I thought I'd try out their Spanish militia volunteer type figures. So I bought a battalion of 32 figures. They're quite slender, but the height wise they look the same as Perry's, and this will be the 4th battalion of the Spanish brigade I'm painting up at the moment, and I might do those all in brown. We'll have to see, but I don't think there's that many variations as Perry, but I just thought I'd give them a try. More of that later, I expect, when I start to get around to painting. ACW, I bought a set of very exciting horse holders for my Union troops, and another 18 dismounted cavalry, because I found a plastic box of ACW cavalry, which I didn't think I had. So that will expand my Union mounted division brigade. And then finally, I was thinking, before I went, I thought I really need to get some scenery for my 20mm rapid fire collection. I've got the big burnt out factories and the like for, say, a Stalingrad type game, but I haven't got any of the smaller buildings that I think you need. So I went along to, first of all I went to Grubby Tanks, and in 20mm I bought some resin cottages with a thatched roof. And I can't remember the make of this next couple of buildings. I've got a church in resin and two more houses. And what I might do is put 3 of the buildings on a base, 12-inch square possibly, and then put fences and the like around it, or walls, and have 2 buildings alone. I think that might be quite good. So that was it. I also will pick its charge, but my stepdaughter wants to give me that for my birthday, so she was round up at home yesterday, so I'll get it straight to her. Mainly because people are talking about it regarding ACW rules, and I've heard good things about the set, so I thought I'd just buy it, even though I'm a confirmed black powder gamer when it comes to ACW. Okay, so that's it. So it's nice seeing and meeting people yesterday. It's always nice when people come up to me and shake hands, and there's a few of that yesterday, and say nice things about my channel, and yes, it gives you a bit of an incentive. So thanks to everybody who came forward. Okay, so I'll put the camera down now, and we'll have a look at the Spanish I completed. Okay, this battalion by Perry represents the 1st Battalion of the regiment, and this is the regiment, the battalion that comes with the 2 Grenadier companies. Again, all metal, with the rather delicate design on the back of the bear skin, 8 to a base, and nice figures. I painted this unit as all in their full dress, whereas the other 2 battalions are in part civilian clothing, because I always thought that the 1st battalion would have the pick of the stores. That's those. And I imagine if they're advancing, the Grenadiers would be to the fore, and that's how that works out, like that. Nice looking battalion that is. Flags from my mate Ian at Flags of War, which are the best, I reckon. Yeah, so that's that. That's battalion number 3. Now the artillery which I was showing you earlier, I've got to paint the bases up. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. They're the figures at the moment. The gun crews are 2 firing and 1 loading, which I just mixed them together once I got them through. Not too sure where I got these little bits, but I found them in the spares box. And I always try and if people are leaning over, it always looks like they're in conversation, so I try and put them closer together. That's those. There's 3 guns, 3 artillery crews, and the guns, I think they're 8-pounders possibly. They just got a paint and a quick dry brush. Sorry, paint, wash and a quick dry brush. There's 3 of those. And the High Command, 2 horses, 1-piece castings, and that's going to go. I'm not too sure how I put those facing each other or both looking the same direction possibly. I'll try and get on with those this afternoon. I think that's about it. I'll show you quickly the eagle figures. Hopefully they all look okay. There you go. Some have lapels at the front of the jacket, some others don't, so I think it's the militia and volunteer units are quite grateful for whatever they got, so they'll be all in brown with a few bits of red here and there, and that's about it. One last look at the bridge, which I don't think that's bad for £15. Quite long. I can tell you how long that is. About 300mm. I'm not too sure what that is in old money, but yes, that will find its way onto the table. And that's it. And as usual, thanks for watching.